What a magnificent chapter of One Piece, man. This is one of those chapters that just lives rent-free in your mind more than usual, because a lot of these chapters, if not all of them, upon reading, especially in this arc, they live rent-free. But this week's chapter of the best-selling manga in history has been rent-free, man. And today's been a really special day for me, right? Because not only have I been waiting to see the wings of the Pirate King soar one day, and for it to be today, the tag team of legend coming back today, but also I got to see CM Punk today. This is nuts. 2 events that I've been waiting so many years to see all popping off in the same day. Because I'm recording this early, because I'm not going to be able to be here this weekend. So I was like, you know what? I'm talking about this chapter come High Flagnard. So I'm recording this deep into the night. And I was like, screw it. I got to talk about this chapter. I am talking about this chapter come Flagnards, dude. Because this was the best possible setup chapter at this stage in the game. You wanted confirmation on the Flying Six and what they were currently, what their status was, whether they were defeated or not. You got that. You wanted to see Luffy again in his possible Tank Man state with 15 minutes left, the timer coming down, Onigashima heading down the Flower Capital. You got it. And I received an amazing comment by Bresboy that stated that Momonosuke is about to have his hour of legends. Momonosuke is about to have his hour of legends by holding up Onigashima until Luffy defeats this man. Oh, bro, if that were to take place, let me tell you, I just, if that were to happen, yo, what else can I say? Yo, kid. Raizo delivers an amazing speech to Fukurokuju. And then we switch to Kid and Killer. Killer and Hawkins. And Kid and Law and Big Mom. And this went so far beyond expectations. Because now we're going to have 2 battles intertwined. Because what happens in one battle is going to directly affect the other. Now we have a time limit on Kid and Law are facing Big Mom. Big Mom. This is a threat. The stakes are at its highest. And Oda found a way to somehow raise the stakes even higher. Because now we're placed in a situation where Hawkins has to, and oh my bro, this man Hawkins this week, my man had a straight up villainous thing going. I was like, yo, Hawkins. Ooh. Some of the dialogue he was spitting on, this man's menacing. He's villainous. My word, Hawkins. But so Hawkins is out here, putting all this on the table for Killer in a similar type of situation that he did for Law. And that's why I believe that Law is going to tell Kid what is going down. Because he's probably going to see what's currently happening to Kid. And he's like, yo, the same thing was happening to my crew when I was taking on Hawkins. So more than likely, one of your crewmates, Killer, is probably taking on Hawkins right now. As he knows it already, he left him to him back in a couple of chapters ago. He left him to fight him, right? So he knows he's fighting him. But Law is gonna tell him, he's gonna be like, yo, Killer is currently fighting Hawkins. And so he's probably put in a scenario to where if he attacks Hawkins, he's gonna hurt you. So you already know what that's gonna do to him, because look at what it did to me. It put me right in prison because I wasn't gonna attack him. I wasn't gonna take out my subordinates. And Kid is probably gonna look Law straight in the eyes and be like, if Killer has to kill me to get to Hawkins, let him do it. I will die for my crewmates. We have potential Kid greatness incoming. We have the potential for Kid's resolve to be in full-blown blossoming mode here. I cannot wait to see where this goes with Kid. Because with his crewmate, with his life now in his crewmate's hands, we're gonna see how much faith he has in Killer and how much love he has for his crew in this. And it's gonna be beautiful. I cannot wait for both sides, because Killer, of course, his resolve's gonna be tested as well. You know he doesn't want to take out Killer. Or doesn't want to take out a Kid. That's his captain. We know how much love they have for each other and how much loyalty he has to him. So I can't wait to see how that dilemma is gonna come in, because like I keep saying, Hawkins is already a massive threat as it is, right? But now Killer has this on top of it. And that strawman ability is crazy. But this is the thing. So I saw you guys in the comment section post multiple times about the fact that Kid lost his arm for a reason, and now we might be seeing that reason come in. And the way that Killer might defeat Hawkins is due to Kid's arm being lost all the way back then. If Lucky Roo eating this man's arm led to this moment to where he will survive in this battle, because now Killer will be able to take on Hawkins and utilize the fact that Kid has lost his arm to take out Hawkins and nullify the strawman ability, I will take it. I will take it. Oh my goodness, it would be so good. Because you already know Hawkins would be like, oh, so you're going to keep striking me. Like, you don't care about the fact that you're going to kill your captain with this. And Killer's going to keep going, fa, 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 until eventually he does get to the point to where he actually manages to nullify it, thanks to Kid having lost his arm. If we actually get to that point, and then Kid is freed, and then we see, after that battle goes down, we see the conclusion to that, then we continue with Kid and Law versus Big Mom, and Kid's resolve. Oh, that's gonna be so good. We got some potential Kid greatness coming in, man. It's gonna be really, really nice. Both Kid and Killer greatness. And Hawkins, I mean, like I said, just the villainous attitude was on point this week, on point. And then we got, of course, the setup with Nekomamushi and Perospero. Really love that, coming to avenge Pedro, especially since Wanda and Carrot had just been defeated. So now we're going to have Inarashi versus Jack and Nekomamushi versus Perospero. That's going to be fantastic to see how those two intertwine. But let's get to the main event, man. Let's get to the wings. King and Queen. They had some magnificent panels this week. King was frying dudes. Queen was going in. Marco. Shout out to Marco, bro. This man, Marco, had been taking on King and Queen while also using his ability to heal everyone else on the floor that was being affected by the virus. And even with him running out of energy, he still goes in to give them one last bit of time so that the stars can take the stage. Marco greatness. You love to see it from our boy Marco. Sanji. This man, Black Leg Sanji. Mr. Prince. This man goes in. Sweet Chin Music's queen. He's already been holding off Perospero, Queen, and all of the other individuals that are here on this floor. And in the midst of this, he was prepared. Had Zoro not gotten out of the mummy, he was prepared to take on King and Queen at the same time. And he's not even in his raid suit. I mean, Sanji. Zoro. This man gets hit with a medicine that was foreshadowed all the way back in Zo. Gets out of the mummy thing. And I was like, what in the flying flat is going on? He's out of the Nicholas D. Wolfwood bandages. He goes in. And the first thing that they do is in a purgatory onigiri. and the Mouton shot on King and Queen in one of the most marvelous panels in the entire series. And then that panel is topped by another panel that might be even better than that one, in which they state that it's in sight. It is in sight. If they beat King and Queen here, Luffy can become King of the Pirates. It's in sight. And I love this so much, man. I mean, I really, really do, y'all. It's just when you look at it with context of chapter 10, 13, and you look back to what took place when it was just the two of them. You know, the rest of the Straws feel the same way, but the two that were vocal about it were Zoro and Sanji. Be like, yo, there's no way, not only has he not been defeated, but we're never gonna bow to any of you. We're never gonna join y'all's crew. Who do y'all think y'all are? And so to see them say that, they're willing to put aside all their differences, even though you already know battle incoming is gonna be hilarious and whatnot just because of their rivalry. But to put everything aside for the fact of putting Luffy's dream up so that they can ensure that after this, because they know what's at stake here, man. This is it for One Piece, bro. You know, just last week I experienced the phenomenal ending of Evangelion after all these years with 3.0 plus 1.0. And after I finished that, inevitably, I started thinking about the end of One Piece. And I was like, you know, One Piece is going to end one day, man. And how are we going to feel? How are things going to be in the community and then? Am I still going to be here? Like, it's crazy stuff, right? And I just started thinking about all of that. And just the simple fact that one day this series is going to end, it's sooner rather than later. And we got that once again in this week's chapter, where Zoro and Sanji were like, yo, once we beat these two Yonko commanders, and Luffy defeats Kaido, he has the freedom to defeat Kaido because he does not have to, like, focus on anything down here. He can have his full focus on what's happening up there. Once that happens, we're in the final stretch. We're in the end game. The Straw Hat crew is going to be known as an Emperor-level crew, with them having taken on an Emperor's crew and defeated them. And so Zoro and Sanji are looking at it in the future like, yo, we're going to, if once we defeat one of the Emperors, possibly, potentially two of them, this is going to open the path. We're going to see it. It's going to be in our sights. Our journey for Luffy becoming king, and to put aside all their differences. For that is so beautiful because you know how much Luffy has done for them. And vice versa. You know, Luffy yelling to Sanji, I can't do that. I can't become king without you. Without you, I can't become king of the pirates. And one of the most emotional lines in the whole series. We've seen what Zoro has done for this man, bro. With the nothing happened and always keeping him in check. These are his wings. When Luffy's out here fighting the final antagonists in every arc, when he's fighting Crocodile, when he's fighting Enel, when he's fighting Lucci, you know, everyone. He knows that he could leave the rest of the individuals to Zoro and Sanji. These are his wings. They've always been his wings. Giving him the freedom so they can soar. And I just love how this week's chapter focused in on that. And specifically on Zoro and Sanji, we know how their rivalry is. But the fact that they're willing to put everything to the side for their captain is so beautiful, man. I have a lot of things written down here that I want to talk about. In particular, for certain things that can take place within this battle. First, so on the concept of awakening. So if you guys haven't noticed, I'm sure you've noticed, but just to put some more food for thought out there. None of the Flying Six really awakened. And this got me thinking about awakening as a concept, right? The concept of fruits awakening. Who can do it, right? Individuals that are very proficient, obviously, in their fruits can do it. But is this reserved for the top tiers, or the quote-unquote top tiers, like the top tiers within their own crews? Because we didn't see any of the Toyropo awaken. Are we going to see King and Queen awaken? I'm going to assume we're going to see Kaido awaken, because come on, it's Kaido. But for King and Queen, will we see them awaken? Because if we do, it's going to lead into, I mean, it's already going to be a unique fight because, like I've been saying in the last couple Afterthoughts, every single Todoroki battle / Calamity battle is going to be different than the last. And this one's already going to be unique in the fact that it's a tag team battle. You know, it's a tag team battle of legend. But to have the two of them, to have Zoro and Sanji go up against awakened King and Queen is going to be insane. Because if Queen awakens and King, I mean, King's awakening might lead into the whole thing with his race. And here's the thing, right? There was a comment that I saw that really had my brain start rolling and running. You know how in this week's chapter it started talking about the fact that, he conjures flames and that his race originated and they once resided above the red line. And what do we know is above the red line? The Marijoa. Now, I saw a comment stating that maybe the King's race was the original Celestial Dragons, and the current Celestial Dragons are just fakes for those, right? But taking that same concept, that same idea, and applying it to the fact that maybe the original Celestial Dragons came in and wiped out all of King's race. So let's just say that Marijoa originally belonged to King's race. He goes in and or his like on some Ohara stuff. The Celestial Dragons, they wanted to be above every single other individual. So whenever they started developing this stuff, the 20 kingdoms, and they wanted to reside on top of everyone to showcase that they're better than everyone, they went up towards the Marijoa, which potentially wasn't inhabited by King's race, and wiped every single last one of them out except for King. And of course, King's parents or whatever, right? Because they're pretty much extinct, right? That's what they said. He's the last one of his race, and so he's just like Robin. And that's crazy because then in this fight, we're going to get to see. Because of this fight, we're going to get little bits and pieces of insight towards the Void Century in terms of just King's race, if that is the case, because these individuals, with their wings, with King's unique design, and they can conjure flames. That's crazy. That could lead into the origin of fruits. That could lead, I'm talking, this could lead into some crazy parts of the lore. And so, I'm really curious, and also for King's character, how Kaido got to King, or how Kaido managed to, bring King under him. The fact that Big Mom was also very interested in King, so obviously there was something important about him, but that's extremely important. That's mega important, if that's really true. And I can't wait to see more from King's character, how much his family and his race potentially meant to him. The fact that he's the last one remaining, and all of that stuff when it comes to his character. I'm really curious on seeing how Oda's going to handle that. Because there's a lot of ways you can explore it, right? In terms of going through King and writing it in a way to where we could feel empathy towards him and really being like, man, this man is someone that potentially one day would want to get his home back. This could lead towards a story of King surviving this, comes back and joins our alliance, or joins the Revolutionary Army. Oh, that would be nasty. King the Wildfire, after Kaido gets defeated, goes off and joins this man Dragon to take over the Marijoa, and King arrives up there with Dragon. He's like, he pops someone from an instant messenger or something. He's like, hey man, I'm here to come get my turf back. It'd be nasty. It'd be nasty. But yeah, man, a lot of potential there, because now, like I was talking about in the Sanji video, I'm really excited for the Sanji side of this because, of course, I really want Sanji to prove to Queen if we do get the Mads flashbacks and, how he continuously calls him Judge's son and all that stuff. I think it's going to lead into where he utilizes the modifications put in by Usopp and Frankie to show to Queen that it's due to him relying on his friends. It's due to him relying on those that he loves. Because not only is he relying on Zoro to watch his back in this battle, because that's going to be amazing, But he's also now relying on Robin to take care of Black Maria, which she did, and vice versa, because now Black Maria is depending on him in order to take care of this situation. But also relying on Usopp and Frankie to what they did to his raid suit to make it even better. Because Queen is only going to be familiar if he is familiar with the raid suit. His in particular, which I'm sure he is, with the original raid suit, not the new raid suit. So now Sanji's going to be able to prove to Queen that failures, or the fact that he was a quote-unquote failure, is going to allow him to succeed. Why? Because he did all of this by going on his own personal journey, finding the Straw Hats, developing his own fighting style, and then of course relying on his friends to modify this suit for him, this suit that was originally a part of the Germa technology. But he believed in Frankie and Usopp to modify it to a way that it would better suit him, better fit him and his style, so that he could go into like swimwear. And I really can't wait to see it. I cannot wait to see this man Sanji go up in like swimwear against Queen, and Queen just has to put respect on his name and be like, man, you know what? Vince Smoke Judge's son, he isn't a failure. In all honesty, he might be the biggest success. Like, that would be so beautiful, man. To where he's like, yo, his heart, his burning heart surpassed all types of science. He was able to allow this technology. As Queen, as a scientist, I'm sure is going to be able to respect this. Like, yo, who in the world modified this suit? And Sanji's going to be like, yo, my friends, man. My boys. The individuals I depended on. Oh, man, there's a lot of potential there for greatness. Looking forward to seeing the Mads flashback, too. It might be the first time that we get to see, like, a Vegapunk silhouette. And what I mean by it, because we've gotten a certain idea, right? But this might be the first time we actually get to see, like, maybe Vegapunk's back or something. Like, first time we actually get to see him. Like, it would be cool to see the Mads flashback, you know, Vegapunk and Hogback, Judge, potentially, and all that stuff, right? Like, I want to see some of that, too. So this fight obviously has a lot of potential for lore, for, like, the Mads and for King's Race. But especially when it comes to the character moments, like, the Sanji and Queen stuff is going to be magnificent, but when it comes to Zoro versus King, and King having that massive blade, we've already seen Zoro cut fire in this arc. Prometheus got it sliced right down the middle, and we've seen him practicing with it all the way since whenever you put respect on Kinemon's name by, like, cutting fire and whatnot, but now he's able to cut fire too. And this is going to be Zoro's thing within this fight, because Zoro is coming off of fighting on the roof, and we saw what he was doing up there, but he was heavily injured. He's still technically heavily injured, but he's going to push through this, because you know how Zoro is, man. He never goes into a fight fully healthy, but right now he feels fully healthy. So that's going to be scary for King, man. I mean, yo, but Awakened King, Zoro going in, taming, conquering his Enma to the point where he's going to make it listen to him, and he's going to go in on King. 3 sword style, go up in like swimmer, because he's also relying on somebody too. He relied on Hiyori, because if he didn't rely on Hiyori and get Enma, then none of this would have happened. He wouldn't have been able to get Enma. He would have been stuck with 2 swords, because his other one, of course, was taken away from him, and so he was left with Enma. And now he's gonna take Enma, conquer it. Within this battle, we're gonna see, oh my goodness, bro, it's gonna blossom and bloom to the highest extents. To the highest extents that we've seen. Not only that, but we're gonna see his Haki bloom. We're gonna see his Haki bloom. Ornament and Conquerors. And I cannot wait to see what King has to say when he feels Conqueror's Haki coming from this man, Zoro. If they Haki clash, if King has King's Haki, and they have a Conqueror's clash, I am going to flip it. I don't even want to. I'm going to be flying all over the place. This sand hat's going to be flying. But you know when my sand hat's really going to be flying? When Zoro and Sanji have coordinated attacks against King and Queen. Could you imagine both of them back to back, Bakuji Dancer style? And King tries to sneak attack this man Zoro. Sanji kicks him in the face. Queen tries to sneak attack Sanji. Zoro slices Queen. So it's like a true battle at the beginning, a 2v2, right? So it's coordinated attack. Sanji potentially like getting kicked up by Zoro into the air, goes in, meets on shot, or like, you know, utilizing where Sanji spins, pushes Queen back, Zoro goes in and hits. Like, it's a lot of potential for awesome fighting choreography, because the thing is, with this battle and being a tag team fight, we're going to get to see the very best of their comedic and amazing interactions, of course, right? You're going to You're gonna get all of that. But their character interactions, the moments between the two of them of actually protecting each other from the blows of King and Queen, seeing what they can do when they're back to back, and the coordinated attacks of like Sanji pushing it up into the air and Zoro slicing, coming back down, Sanji or like Zoro hitting him up into the air and Sanji coming out with a concassette. I mean, oh my, the potential, man. The potential for all the amazing fighting choreography, because you already know Oda's gonna go in for this fight, dude. And the impact of these attacks. We're gonna get to see King and Queen go all out. Finally get to see Yonko commanders. Our Yonko commanders. Ours. In Sanji and Zoro. Our right and left. Going against Kaido's right and left. It's gonna be glorious, man. It's gonna be so goat. Like, man, dude. Like I said, I have a lot of stuff written down here. Let me see if I've battled, or if I've talked about most of the stuff that I want to talk about. Like, man, yeah, dude. I'm just so like, because this is the thing, right? We knew the potential of something like this taking place, but the fact that it's actually happening just has my mind boggled because of the way it was executed. Like, we thought of the thing, right? We thought that it was possible. But this man Oda went above and beyond. Above and beyond. Because not only did he foreshadow it initially in chapter 10-13, with Zoro and Sanji being the only ones to directly oppose it, but then Robin speaks about the wings. And about, yo, Sanji is one half of the wings. So it's like, oh my goodness. And now we see the wings in action. God, I am so hyped for this battle, dude. Like, specifically when it comes to their characters, man, like, I really want to get to know more from King as well. Because King's going to have a very strong resolve, right? Let's just say that he is one of those individuals because let's just say he has a Vegeta type of character, right? Where, because we've seen that he's a meticulous individual based on earlier on the arc, you know, lying and deceiving under Kaido's name in order to bring the Todoroki together. So obviously, he's someone that's very meticulous. Queen as well. We saw what Queen did with the whole X-Drake situation with Who's Who. So we know that the two of them use their brains, and they're not afraid of getting down and dirty and really deceiving and betraying. They're all about it. They're all about the victory. And so with King being that way, you already know that he has the strength of resolve to win at all costs. So I really can't wait to see King's resolve here, man. That's going to cause for an amazing battle between him and Zoro on that side. And then with Queen and seeing how he's going to turn this into a mental battle, because we already know he's going to want to nullify this man's raid suit. And so I look forward to seeing how he's going to adapt whenever he can't nullify it, because it's not the same raid suit that he would have been accustomed to seeing. And then on the flip side, really can't wait to see both Zoro and Sanji continue to go in, because Sanji has been going in magnificently in the past couple chapters, and we saw what Zoro did on Roof. So now we're about to have some Roof Piece level chapters. The way that this fight ends, I don't know if it's going to be a combined thing to where both of the fights end at the same time, because I think it's going to be a tag team fight, and then at the very end, towards like the end of the of this battle going down, it's going to turn into like a mini one-on-one to where Zoro and King go in, and we're going to have those legendary, like, going back to like the Daz Bones fight, right? And Zoro and King, and Zoro's gonna have to put everything that he has into that one final attack. You get that amazing final blow. Whatever the new final attack for both these characters is going to be, for both Sanji and Zoro, is going to be insane. They both deserve their own double page spreads. And if we get them back to back, oh man. Yo, can I tell y'all, we are in for what might end up being the very best of this arc. It has me shook. It has me shook. Because what we just got from Robin blew all of our minds. Wait until we see what this man has in store for Sanji and Zoro's section of this, dude. And then eventually for Luffy. But just what a magnificent chapter, man. I am so excited, dude. Like, yo, bro, when this man Sanji finally dons the raid suit, Like, how fast is he gonna be? Look at that, man. My camera's running out of battery. It can't even handle it anymore. Who can? When he finally gets back in that raid suit, he's gonna be like, man. Or I'm not him, me. I'm gonna be like, yo. With Zoro has a bandana out, bro. Zoro's gonna go ham, dog. Because now he's gonna have more control over Enma. This man releases an attack similar to what he did on the roof. Oh. If his final attack is anywhere even close to the Kaido dodge attack, yo, this is gonna be so goat. This is gonna go down in history. This is gonna go down in legend as a tag team battle that we're never gonna forget. The Yonko Commanders versus the Wings of the King, man. And like I said, I really love this for their characters. I love this for just from a storytelling perspective of just getting the two of them out there, putting aside their differences, because they really are the Wings, man. When you look back at the rest of the series, they real deal have always been the individuals that have allowed Luffy to soar. Without them, Luffy would have not been able to make it this far. You know, both literally in a sense of Zoro saving his life back with the Labark, and Sanji always being the one to feed him, because before then they were starving on the seas, man. And Sanji's been the one to always, give them nutrition and nourishment and allow them to live up until this point. So both of them obviously have had their roles in helping Luffy grow. Zoro being the big brother to him, or technically, actually technically like the big brother to him, and always giving those talks of like, yo, when no one else was there, he was the one that told him like, this is what it means to be a captain, and you gotta tighten up whenever you get into Yonko territory, and all these little conversations. And so the two of them are very, very important to Luffy, bro. And so to see the two of them put everything aside and be like, yo, we're taking these dudes out, not only because we have to, but because after this, the path has been opened. The end of the series is in front of us. We're gonna be an official Emperor's crew after this. It just gives you chills when you think about it, man. It really does. But this, more so than an Afterthoughts, it's just been a ramble. Like I said, I'm recording this late in the night, so my brain might be even more fried than it was earlier today when I read the chapter. Just, if you can take anything away from this video, is that we're about to get into some insanely incredible stuff with Zoro and Sanji versus King and Queen. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for this next chapter. I don't know if it's going to continue this. I hope it does. But if we go to something else and then we cut back to this, because I saw somebody say that we're going to get like 4 chapters in a row, including this week, so 3 more chapters in a row, because apparently we're getting like color spreads for the voting that we did earlier on in the year for like WT 100. And we're gonna get those color spreads back to back to back, which means we're gonna have to get chapters back to back to back. So I don't know how Oda's gonna structure those chapters, but man, let him do him. Because Onigashimo's been so goat. Let my boy do him, dog. Regardless of what he's gonna do, it's gonna be amazing. But Zoro and Sanji about to go ham. Just really gave me vibes of all of the other tag team parts they've had early on in the story, but this was like the best one because this is against Yonko Commanders, and it's just the way the chapter was set up. It reminded me of chapter 943 of whenever they first reunited, and the chapter was just perfectly set up for the two of them reunited at the end. That's exactly how this week's chapter was, but like tenfold. It was so good. Really, one of my favorite chapters in the arc, without question. Definitely one of my favorite chapters in Onigashima. Like, it was roof piece level, y'all. It was roof piece level, man. Goated chapter. But yo, I will see y'all next time. Everybody's an awesome day. Thank you for listening to my ramble. I don't know if I'm going to be able to edit this one in the way that I've been enjoying editing the last few. Like I said, I'm not going to be home much this weekend. But I'm going to be having some content up while I'm gone. And yeah, man. What a chapter. Sanji and Zoro greatness. Our wings are here, baby. I'll see y'all next time. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments down below. And if you have any other thoughts to add, I would love to read them, man. But until next time, take care. One Piece greatness, bro. The wings, they're here, man.